All right, guys, what's going on? Good morning. It's Robert with Optimal Lawn Maintenance in Southeast Wisconsin. It is early, and it is mid to late March here. What is it? March 21st. I'm headed down to Hopedale, Illinois. Never been there. Looks like a small town, but it's over by Peoria. About a 4-hour drive for me, and as you noticed, my tailgate is off. So that can only mean, well, it can mean a couple of things, I guess. I'm not getting a salter because winter is just about done, but I'm getting an easy dumper bed insert installed today. So that will be really nice for mulch and cleanups. And then in the fall, it'll be good for fall cleanup, obviously, and then leaf removal. So come along with me as we get this installed today, and I'll show it to you when it's done. I'm not sure if I'll be able to film at the shop that I located to get this done, but the reason I'm driving 4 hours down to Illinois to get this taken care of is because I found a shop that's about $2,200 cheaper than the person in my area. And by cheaper, I mean just less expensive. I was quoted up here about $6,700 to have a dump insert, the headache rack, if you will, or the window protector, cap protector, and the tarp. I can get the same thing down in Illinois for about $4,700-4,800 out the door. So that's a deal for me. I'll drive for that. You may have also noticed this bricking here. When I put the truck in reverse, when there is no tailgate on, it bricks. It's an early 2023 F250 problem that I originally discovered with my ramp rack system, but obviously that's gone. But this will be an issue since there is no taking off and putting on the dump insert, and that's not what it's intended for. It's on to stay on. So I have a solution for this I found from one of the Ford truck forums, so I'll show you guys that too. I found a guy that 3D prints a bracket for the tailgate camera that comes out of the actual tailgate. So I'm using the Ford OEM camera, and the guy 3D prints a really nice bracket for like $45 that just mounts right into a license plate screws. So I'll show you guys that too. So let's go. I forgot to mention too, this camera thing is super annoying. The early 2023 models seem to be the only Super Duties that have this problem. Because obviously some people buy their Super Duties, 250s and 350s, to put a tailgate camper in their truck. And what happens is when you disconnect the tailgate in these trucks, this particular set of trucks, the early 23s, it not only takes away your rear camera, but it bricks your entire camera system. So I've got the 360 camera system in this. That doesn't work. My front camera doesn't work. If you want to get real picky about it, the front camera wiper fluid jet that pops out doesn't work. I've heard some guys don't get their blind spot monitoring to work, but I don't have that issue. I do have it in my truck, but I don't have that issue. But the guys that have the higher end models of Super Duties also get an error about the power tailgate, which obviously wouldn't work if you have your tailgate off, but they're still getting that error as opposed to just not getting an error at all. So they're constantly clearing it out as it chimes on their dash up here. So that would be really annoying too. But the solution I have, it's a good one. So I will show you guys that. I just was thinking about that as I backed out of the driveway there. Thought I'd share all the cameras that don't work with this. And Ford says there's no fix for it. It's not a software issue. It's probably a hardware issue. And there's no TSB or anything that Ford's willing to do for it. They just say it's normal operation, which is kind of crap. Like I said, they sell this as a camping package, towing package, snow package, work truck. And if you bought it for using a tailgate camper, you're kind of SOL without spending extra money. Anyway, just something I thought of as I was getting out of the driveway there. Off to Illinois we go. Illinois, land of a whole lot of nothing, flat land, and wind turbines. I'm about halfway to where I need to be. It's almost 7 a.m., sun's finally up, and this drive is boring. Got about an hour and a half left, and it's just an update for you. It's always a challenge driving through Illinois, especially in the dark, but it doesn't get much better when the sun comes up and there's just a whole bunch of flat land. So just an update for you, and we'll see you when we're there. Alright guys, when I said I was getting this installed in the middle of nowhere, Illinois, I meant it. I am literally in the middle of, I don't know, farmland, I guess. But the dumper is on. Install was super easy. I got to help the guy out, which was nice. It was a one-man show with a helper that showed up a little bit through the install, but overall it took like 2 hours. Wasn't bad. It was the guy's first time installing an easy dumper. He generally does flatbeds, it sounds like, for trucks. Takes the bed off and does flatbeds. So it went pretty smooth for his first time and obviously my first time. So I'm on the way back up to Wisconsin, back home. I'm gonna see if I can stop at a rest stop or something, something not busy, and I'll show you guys the dump insert here before I get back. But overall, super happy with it. Price was right. Brand new, obviously, and it should be really, really efficient for cleanups and mulch. Alright guys, what's going on? It's Robert here. Not entirely sure where we left off when I was driving home from getting this dump insert put on, but it's a couple days later, and my choice was to get home a little bit later, stop, kind of show you guys the insert, or get home and build the walls that you now see. Well, the weather was nice. It's Monday now and it's like 35 degrees out, so it's a little chilly. I'm glad I got this done instead, so I figured I'll just show you guys the dump insert now that I'm back, and maybe in another video I can walk through what I did for building the sidewalls, and then I can also, in the same video, maybe go through how I'm going to take the camera out of here, and I got to relocate bracket that goes right there, so I can just run the cable straight up from here right there, and my cameras will come back because like I mentioned earlier, they all brick now that the tailgate camera is gone. So let me show you guys the dump insert. Pretty happy with it, and I'm looking forward to using it for cleanups. So just from the front to back, I got the cab guard right here. I used to have the back rack here, so I had to take the light bar off, and I'll have to do something different with that. But I got the cab guard. I also got the tarp kit, so that when I have this full with leaves or whatever, mulch, I'm coming down the highway, I can just pull that back, bungee it down to the back here, and not have to worry about losing a bunch of debris. This is the 6 foot or 6.5 foot, 6 foot dump insert. It also comes in a bigger size for the 8 foot beds. I get, I believe it's 1.5 cubic yards of capacity with no walls on it. The walls on it, and maybe a little above, give me about 4 yards of capacity, and that should be plenty as far as weight and capacity needs for me running solo to just run to the dump after a day or two, especially during spring and fall cleanups. And we'll see what we can do for leaf cleanup, maybe build a leaf box. The plan is to get a billy goat debris loader, build maybe a little taller box and shoot the leaves in there so I can still pull the trailer with the mowers and stuff. That's the whole reason that I got the dump insert instead of a dump trailer. So like I said, I built these walls on here. These are just some 2x4s. They're about 2 feet. These are 2x10s, so you got 20 inches of extra space on either side. The tailgate's nice. It can fold down top to bottom, or you can pop it open and let stuff come out of just the bottom as you raise it up. I'm know the benefits of doing that, maybe just so you don't have debris or mulch or stone flying all over the place and coming out too fast when you're dropping it off at a property. All right, so I'll turn the truck on to raise and lower the bed. Just so I'm not putting extra strain on the battery. So you'll hear that in the background, but it does have about a 15-second cycle time all the way up. So top button is just up. You can see some of my broken snow stakes in there. I made the ultimate cardinal sin of snow, and I went and took out all my snow stakes with a week left in March. So I'm sure we'll get slammed now and I'll have to do it blind, but whatever. As you can see, it's a pretty good angle that you get here for the dump itself. I'm pretty impressed with that. The truck doesn't squat too bad with it. Really, if at all, maybe dropped an inch in the back. I think the dump insert itself weighs 700 pounds. Airbags maybe in the future if I'm going to be doing a ton of mulch with this thing. Or if the leaves, you know, are real wet and heavy, that could be a problem too. But as you can see, we get a pretty good tipping angle. Shouldn't have a problem getting debris to come out here, come loose of here. There's nothing for it to catch on, which yes, you do lose a little bit of capacity with the dump insert itself, but what you gained is the smooth release of material as opposed to fighting the wheel wells like I have been doing. So it comes with some standard brackets for all the installs from what it sounds like. The guy that did the install used some washers because the bolts are a little taller than what would work for this specific truck, but the stock bolts weren't long enough to work the way they needed to. So just improvised for now. These brackets, both on each side, so 4 of them, worked with the stock bed bolts that bolt right into the top of the frame. The directions do say that you can drill down into the frame, through the frame, so you have the top and the bottom of the bolt running through. But the kit did not come with long enough bolts for that, nor did the installer want to drill through the bottom of the frame when we had the top frame to work with the threaded bolts that came with the truck anyway. So I don't know if you guys have opinions on that. Let me know if this needs to be ultimately drilled through. Let me know. I don't know, I think it should be fine. The guy I was working with said it should be fine, so we'll go with his opinion. Here's the hydraulic pump right here, pretty basic. Just ran the power cords through the plastic whatever that is over there on the truck bed, straight to the battery, and hooked it up to the plow fuse that's in there. So we'll run this back down. All right, so that's the 6-foot easy dumper on my 23 F250 with the 6 3/4 bed. I will do a video for you guys just further describing the walls that I built for it, and at the same time I'll do a video on taking the camera out of the tailgate and relocating it with the bracket that I have. I'll put that in a different video. For now, I'm going to wrap this one up. If you guys enjoy the video, if you enjoy the content, if it was helpful, if you have questions about the dumper, anything, leave me a comment at the bottom of the video. Feel free to like the video, and if you're new here, please subscribe to the channel. Been getting some good positive feedback both through YouTube and my Instagram about the videos. People seem to like them, so subscribe to the channel and help keep me motivated to make more videos and more content for you guys. So until the next one, that's the easy dumper, and I'm looking forward to putting it to use here with spring cleanups and mulch in the next week or two. We're going to get started. So see you guys on the next one.